Hey guys, Tim here from the house. Today we're going to talk about how your footwork can affect your hand position to the bottom of the swing. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? This is Tim here with yet another house bowling review. Today we are looking at Jason. Jason is a five-step player who is looking to improve where his hand is at the release point and get it further under the ball. And Jason's got a lot of really good things going on here as we get started digging into his game. First couple of things that I always look at anytime I try to look at a player, it's just kind of the lines and where the upper body is and the knee bend, spine tilt, where the swing is at. And really a lot of those things here with Jason look pretty doggone good. He gets the top of the swing here. Nothing really to complain about. That's good there. That's good there. That's in a pretty good spot. So really, top of the swing, we're in good shape. Got a lot of really nice things going on. But from here, as we kind of slow this down, what I see as the ball starts to rotate to the outside as he goes to let go of it, is that this slide step, this fourth and fifth step, start going back to the right. You see where we're at here? We're running up right here with the lane. And as we go forward, when we get to the slide, we are over here in relation to lane. And this is something that I have struggled with for the better part of 10, 15 years. This is something that I've worked a ton with Coach Jerry Edwards on, my personal coach. And it seems like every time I take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks off, the same thing creeps back into my game. And that is that slide step crossing over and kind of forcing back to the right. And what that does, as that slide step goes back to the right, it forces that elbow to rotate to the outside of the ball so that you can get it to come down. Because physically, as everything's moving in the same direction, your shoulder and your elbow, they just can't physically rotate inward when that's happening as you're trying to throw the ball to the right. So as we go back here and we kind of analyze and we see where we're at the start even, he's also got a big crossover here in this second step. First step's right there. We'll put a dot there. Boink. On where that first step is. Then we go to the second step. Big swinging crossover there. What that big swinging crossover, especially if you do it with your right foot like that in the second step, is that's getting some hip movement going as you start to walk the line. You're standing there, you're set up to throw it, your hips are pointed towards your target, which in most cases nowadays is to the right of where you're standing, because that's the nature of how bowling has become. And the second step, when that big right crossover goes, moves the hips and turns the hips inward. And you'll see that that happens. Now you got to realign the hips as you walk the rest of the way through the swing. And as we do that, that's fine. And we still get into a decent spot. So the things that I would work on is the first thing that I would try to do is do some drills to really straighten that second step out. Because that second step is kind of where you're getting your left drift from. And left drift isn't a bad thing. Most power players do drift to the left at some point. But if we can get that second step straightened out, that'll allow that fourth and fifth step, really the fifth step, to go straight or a little bit left, which will open the space up for the ball to fall underneath at the top of the swing and for your hand and everything to fall under it. So the easiest way to kind of monitor this, and some of the drills that I do whenever it comes down time for me to work on these same things, is I'll take a video from the back of the approach, much like this one, and I'll count board-wise. I'll get it a little close to the approach so you can see the boards individually, count boards, and take a video if you start on 20, on 25, forget where the ball's going, pick a dot to stand on so it's nice and easy to do the math and figure it out. And stand there every shot for the next 5, 10, 20 shots. Take a video of the first one, figure out where your fourth step is, what board your pivot step is on, and then mark that board on the approach with a piece of tape. so that when you slide, you can look down and make sure that that slide is left of where that pivot step was. And it should probably be about 4 to 5 boards left, and that's just getting it straight. Because naturally your feet are wide enough that between the 2 feet, you've got 4 or 5 boards between the two of them, so that if your slide was on the same board as your right foot, it would still be crossing over because you're not walking, heel directly in front of toe. As you walk naturally, left foot is left of the right foot. So about 5 to 6 boards is a good number there. Mark that on the approach so that when you do slide there, you can get instant feedback as soon as you throw the shot on whether or not that pivot step went, or the slide step went straight or to the left. You can do the same thing with the second step. I would not worry as much about the second step quite yet. That would be something that I would worry about getting out of there after you get the slide step going straight or a little bit left. And it's not going to be an easy task. Obviously, I've struggled with it for the better part of a decade. So in most cases, this is not the easiest thing. But it does have a number of added benefits on top of what you're looking at now. When you get through this finishing position on here, there's a little bit of movement here. Get the video going. There's some movement here at the finish where the balance isn't good, where you see that heel gets almost like that little click, left-right heel click, because you're trying so hard in your core and your legs and everything. You're working so hard to remain on balance at the foul line. And getting that slide step to the left is going to help you with that, because right now you've got some extra tilt going this way because that shoulder dropped in, and same thing with the elbow. Everything kind of dropped in. That once you get that going, it's going to improve your balance too. And it's not going to be something you really have to work on to improve your balance. It's just naturally going to happen whenever that slide gets going in the correct direction. But there's still a lot of really, really good things going on here. The lines look really, really good. This is just cleaning up some little things. And you can clean those little things up and really gain quite a bit of power and accuracy without a ton of major changes. The foundations here are really, really good. One last thing to consider when you're trying to go from rotating the ball early and kind of getting over top of it to getting under it is make sure your grip is correct. If you haven't checked your fit recently, it's always a good time to do that. Sometimes fit changes will force things like this to happen, or improper fit, I should say, will cause some of these things to happen. It's not real common that that's the case, but it's always a good idea if you haven't had your fit checked in a while to consult your local pro shop and have them take a look at it just in case. Make sure that your fit's good, because there are certain fits, if your pitches aren't right or if you're stretched out too much, it's almost impossible to get your hand under the ball. If you've lost some wrist flexibility as you've gotten older, there's a bunch of different reasons that you may want to get that checked out just to be safe. And the other thing to do as well, and it kind of ties into that, is once you're able to get that slide going left and you get your hand under the ball a little bit more, it's going to change your axis point. So make sure you get that checked over once you get this worked out so that your layouts match what you're trying to do with them as you move forward. There's a lot of really good things going on in here. Just a couple of little things to clean up. Get those things cleaned up, and I can see having tons of.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and check the link in the description for 50% off on our coaching videos.